Well, hello. Guess what? It's Christmas Eve, December 24th. It's Tuesday, 2024. 9 a.m. Had a little bit of a few technical issues trying to get everything working at the same time. But finally got it. Couldn't get the system to recognize this little doodad over here. My iPad Pro, an older iPad Pro, I might say, which I'm using in the studio to display images that reminds Jimmy of things to talk about. How about that? Yeah. So I can shrink that down and come back here. Look at here. We got volcanoes erupting in the Hawaiian Islands. I would suggest getting out of there, because sooner or later that sucker's gonna pop. I mean, it's been throwing lava out there for a year. Would you believe it? It's been erupting for the entire year. Now it's erupting in a more profound way, which is seasonal for that eruption. Apparently it erupts this time of the year, around this time of the year. But it never stopped from last year. So now it erupted times 2, or times 6, or whatever. It's erupted more. Yeah. And you can see the fiery result. It's, amazing to think of dirt becoming so superheated that it turns into liquid rock and flows out of these holes within our planet. Seeping through the outer shell of our planet, because inside our planet is a bunch of this molten lava stuff. It's lava when it comes out here, and it reacts with the the atmosphere. The oxygen tends to make it foam up, as the organic contents of it burns off. Whatever organic contents is capable. It may just be the oxidation of the chemicals rather than organics. Yeah, it's probably that. Silly boy. All right. Christian Watson is injured his knee in the Green Bay Packers victory last evening. Hopefully, this isn't late breaking news. So maybe today, with They have all kinds of massage therapies that can expedite the healing of a knee. Ouch. Yeah. A man dies after being trapped in debris in the high surfs of the Santa Cruz County. I guess with that bridge collapse. There were 3 people that got dumped into the Pacific Ocean when that the end of the bridge had a hut, as I recall, and they all went down with the hut. And then, of course, the hut went, kersplat when it hit the Pacific. And you have a pile of, scrap wood. And apparently, one man died being trapped in that debris. So it's either 4 went down and the 3 survived, or 3 went down and 1 didn't. I'm not sure about that, because one of the headlines was 3 people went down. Now I'm reading from a news break that 1 man has died. So it's when maybe it's 1 man out of the 3. Okay, well, I'll see if we get more news on that as we speak. I just had to get this because it was like such a, a nice look right there, boy-girl thing from a cameraman's standpoint. Oh, look at this. Five people get sent to the hospital from from a Heavenly Valley ski resort. Marilyn and I enjoyed the Heavenly Valley ski resort at one time. Yeah, not the resort, but the ski lift and the skiing. We did. Yes, we did. But apparently something happened. And 5 were sent to the hospital. It was probably, they put 5 people across. Yeah. That's too many. I just remember Marilyn and I in the ski lift. I didn't remember any company. But I guess when the resort gets crammed, they can put up to 5 people in each hanging gondola kind of a thing. Yeah. It looks too wide for 2 people, but as I remember, it's just Marilyn and I in the yeah. I'll tell you what, the nicest thing about the ski lifts is that when you're getting on the ski lift from the bottom of the slope, and you endure getting on the ski lift, which that's a little magical itself. you get right in the way of it, and all of a sudden it just bangs right into the back end of your knee. This bar down here bangs into the bottom end of your knees, and you collapse right into the seat, so to speak. I'm being a little graphic, but that's how you know the seat is about ready to swing you away. And it swings you away, and then you go up in this, it takes you up through a path of all this greenery, and with all the pine needles and the snow, and it's totally quiet because all that those pine needles act as sound buffers, so it is completely silent. Yeah, that's amazing. There's nothing like it. If you haven't done it, it's worth learning how to ski just so you can go up in the lift. Yeah, it's really magical. Yeah. Heavenly Valley is, it's a ski slope that's not for advanced skiers. It's for, beginning and early intermediate, if I had to say. Yeah, but it's it's a nice place. It was right near, the Heavenly Valley Resort has a casino, I think, of some sort. But up the road, north a little bit, like a mile, there's another casino, which is a big one, which is where we were staying in the larger casino hotel. Yeah. I always brag about being in a casino environment and, participating, gambling, and, whenever I can walk out of a casino with the same amount of money that I went into the casino, I feel like I won. Because they didn't get me. Yeah, that's Jimmy's theory. Is if you can walk out of there and have 2 or 3 hours worth of fun gambling, with that sparkle in your eye where you feel like you can make the big winnings and all that, and you win some and you lose some, and if you can come out with a jingle in your pocket, consider yourself lucky, because 2/3, over 2/3 of the people that gamble lose their money. Yep. Those big casinos are not built with winners. They're built on the money of the losers. Yep. That's why I say, if you can walk out of there with what you went in there for, you consider yourself a survivor. The thought of actually having more money in your pocket than you came with is, whew. Oh. I had an 8 days at the casino in the Bahamas with the good folks of Southern Security Life Insurance Company. And I helped them with their investment portfolio in a big way. Made a connection for them with some good people. And made some portfolio swaps, and they made a ton of money. And so Marilyn and I became friends of the board of directors. I wasn't on the board of directors, but every year, George and the board, in the first week in January, would go to the Bahamas and strategically plan for about 8 minutes. And the rest of the time they played in the casinos or on the beach or, in the massage rooms or whatever. Yeah. So Marilyn and I enjoyed a number of Bahama trips with the good folks at Southern Security Life Insurance Company, and George Backus in particular. And I was his gambling buddy. Whew. Well, when you can spend 14 hours in one day and survive it economically, yeah, I did. At the blackjack table, would you believe? He taught me how to play blackjack. And I learned how to play blackjack. I kept even with the dealers. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but by the time the 14 hours is over, I knew what the hell I was doing. Yep, I became a pretty good blackjack player. My only odds then was the deck themselves, the cards themselves, rather than, so I knew what to do, and I did it, and, it's in the hands of the gods. It's all in the cards, as they say. Yeah, here's inside a secret Ukrainian drone command post. Oh my God. Yeah. So this is a Ukrainian guy who's controlling these drones. Whoops. Whoa. That was, yeah. So there you can see he's smoking a cigarette big time. Stop it. Yeah. So there's the aerial views he's looking at. The top one was a dedicated screen. That's what I call a dedicated screen from the drone itself. And this is a view of the entire control setup. Where they actually pushed a button. Well, these drones might have been. Oh, I don't know what kind of drones they are. Look at all these doodads plugged in there. Yeah, there you go. Wires going everywhere. Yeah. It's hard to tell. Looks like Windows, probably Windows operating system. Yeah. So he's controlling his drones. Getting ready to either drop a bomb on the Russian tanks or something or other, or crash right into it. Yeah. Look at this. They've taped together bags, looks like black garbage bags, probably to block out the light. Certainly isn't giving them any insulation. So, maybe that's a heated room and it's also blocking, wind from going through there. Anyway, so this is a command post. Can't be too secret because we're looking at it. It was secret before NPR got their people in there. Yeah. Thank you, NPR. Now, if you're on a cruise, if you've ever been on a cruise, this is the cruise from hell. Because if you end up in that position with a 15 degree, with the back end of the boat, the stern end, as they say, completely out of the water, that's too rock and roll for me. Yeah. That would be a terrifying ocean experience. Yeah. Well, when you go across the Atlantic, you get out there in the wild, and you get trapped by some weather. That's what can happen. And you just hold on. Hold on, sure. And you see the water going up and down the walkways. Oh God, you don't want to be standing out there because you get knocked right off of there and you're gone because that water temperature. When you're out in the middle of the Atlantic, is like 38, 39 degrees, maybe 40 if you're lucky. Well, at that temperature, I'm assuming you get, blown off the boat with, a gush of water. Which, unless you're an experienced seaman, which cruise participants are not, especially on a ship of this size, if you're not strapped down with Velcro, you could be somewhere else. And they count the noses at the end of if they survive such an event. They have unbelievable stabilizers in these ships to prevent them from doing this. So if the ship is undergoing that kind of a wave scenario, then we're talking serious. That captain he's trying to get his nose pointed in the right direction so that he you go right for it. In other words, that's what you do. You don't let these big waves hit you sideways. It'll tip the boat over. All of a sudden you flopped over. Yep. Stabilizer or no, you're over. And then you might keep going. That's how you end up upside down. Because the stabilizer is trying to keep you vertical. Well, if it pushes you past this point, then it holds you upside down, vertical. And holds you that way until that stabilizer system fails, which it will. So yeah, that's not the kind of a cruise that you want to have. No. I would rather fly to Rome and then get on a cruise ship that goes around the Mediterranean. Because the Mediterranean Sea would not have seas this size. I don't think so. Instead of going across the Atlantic, I'd rather fly across the Atlantic and then get on the cruise ship. That's port somewhere around Rome, which, Rome is inland. So, you go east, young man, to a couple of coastal cities where they have, the cruise ship entry galleys and so forth. Yeah. Well, American Airlines ticket holders got a big scare because the entire American Airlines system went down. All planes were grounded. God. All flights were grounded due to technical issue. What the hell could that be? They still have not, as far as I know, they still have not announced what the technical issue was. But, so for almost 2 hours, you had all American Airlines ticket holders in a state of panic. Now, after an hour and a half, you had all these, you imagine all these connecting flights that got screwed up, yada yada, and people running around trying to get their tickets redone, and now you're going from one city to the next, and then you're done. That's one thing. But when you got a connecting flight, then it gets a little nasty, and you got all these smart asses that they were running around, and they got these special apps that automatically rebook their flights and all this stuff. They're letting their thumbs do the running, and meanwhile all the rookies that fly one time a year, they're running around to the different airline desks trying to, get an agent. Of course, there are no agents because they're all busy. So, they don't have extra agents laying around because, they got to pay those agents whatever they pay them. And, there is extensive training so that they, know how to be in the airline system. Once you're in the system, you can work for any airline. But you got to get the training, Anyway, they don't have extra agents laying around. All these companies are scrapping for earnings, so they're pretty sparse with their extra personnel. Yeah, they don't have any. put it that way. Yeah. Okay. We have artificial intelligence built into these robots made in Germany. Neura, N-E-U-R-A. N-E-U-R-A, yeah, that's it. And this little guy is slicing a yellow pepper. So he's showing how he can slice vegetables. They're going to be doing everything. The one thing I remember from Elon Musk, he says prototypes are a lot of fun to make. You know, oh boy, you can make this prototype and that prototype. It's transitioning from prototype to manufacturing at scale, as they say, where you can make 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month of these little guys. And you've got the chain of the supply chain, so that the assembly line kind of a situation is fed by the supply chain. You got the supply chain for for the digits of the fingers, the supply chain for the hand panel, the supply chain for the arms, the elbows, the motors, the transducers, all the things that are required so that Mr. Robot, with his artificial intelligence, which just means it's software controlled. I mean, this AI is kind of a big hoax, because there's artificial intelligence in the thermostat, for God's sakes. You turn your air conditioner to 72, what happens? You get all kinds of equipment, fans, compressors, evaporators, the high side, the low side, the fan itself, the filtration, but that whole electromechanical gas, freon loaded or whatever the gas is, that whole mechanism is artificial intelligence. We've had artificial intelligence for a very long time. We've just never called it that before. But an air conditioner is a simple form of artificial intelligence, which all of us are, relatively familiar with. Slightly more, another form of artificial intelligence, is an elevator. Back 50 years ago, 75 years ago, you'd get in an elevator and there would be an elevator operator standing there. And what floor would you like? You'd like the 5th floor? So you go in there, he slides across a gate, and he's got this big handle, and he pushes the button for 8, and he takes you to the 8th floor, and you get to the 8th floor, and then he opens up the gate, and you get out. And that's how elevators were for 25 years or so. And then when you got into 1955 or 60, something like that, they came up with you just had a button to push. You pushed a button, and the elevator would take you to the 8th floor, the 20th floor, whatever. And at the end of the day, you get back in that elevator, it would open up, and maybe 8 or 10 of you get in there, and you'd push what level you want to get to. I need level 4 for my car, because level 4 is where in the garage is where my car is parked. And it would open up on number 4, and that would be a garage level. Yeah. And the door would open up, and you'd go out, and that'd be it. No elevator operators, everything is automatic. Well, that's a lot of equipment. Well, actually less equipment, probably, than your typical air conditioner. But it's another application of artificial intelligence. Would be, what we think is a simple elevator. Yeah. Well, it seems like
it's 9:45.
Oops, my computer just told me it's 9:45. Okay. Oosh. In 2 years or so, everybody's going to have themselves a household robot. Yep. And we're not talking about some little thing that scoots around the floor to vacuum up, dust and pieces of paper that have fallen on the floor. No. We're talking about a humanoid robot. Something that looks like this. Something that looks like what Tesla has been working on for a couple of years. And they're on version 3 of their Optimus robot, which looks pretty exciting. Now this is a new one that I've heard of. It's the first I've seen of these guys. And, since you got all the I guess this guy's got 2 hooks. You see here? There's an oval there, and one there. And that looks like hooks on each side of the shoulders. So you can just lift that little puppy up and put him nighty-night. Or whatever. Wherever he's got those hooks. Yeah. So he's definitely the operation of the Apple software, the Apple operating system, is if I just put my finger on there and touch it down, I can actually pull this off and put it into something. I can copy it. See where it says copy, add sticker, or share. I can share it, with like your messaging system. Amazing. Yeah. And that's artificial intelligence in itself. the software to mask that whole doodad, that humanoid shape. And then I can copy that and then go to, like a messaging app like this. And let's see. Zell will love this. Let's see if I can. Can I? There we are. I'm going to paste. You see how he's pasted right there? And I can touch that button. I've just sent that to Zell. Oh, they'll love that. You're going to sell. That was a recent transfer of money that I made from one bank account to another using Zelle. Boy, talk about artificial intelligence. I mean, every day we got artificial intelligence. I mean, this whole iPad is artificial intelligence. The whole damn thing. Not to mention all the apps that are in here that do all kinds of exotic things, like I just did. Can you imagine? I mean, the work that it takes to mask that humanoid object out of and remove it from the background, from its background, and then just send it, with a messaging system. I mean, I sent it to nowhere, just as a little display. Amazon and all the, just think of Amazon, that huge enterprise that started off not so huge, I remember some stock guys talking to each other one day and wondering whether or not they should buy that Amazon stock for $4 a share. $4 a share. Just think of the, if you would have invested $10,000 at Amazon at $4 a share, that would be worth millions. Several numbers of millions. Yeah. Yep. It's always easy to look back and what I should have done. Yeah. Let's get back to my photo thing. There you go. So that's Nora come out with a artificial road. See, all this is good because this gives Optimus a kick in the ass to get moving, because they got these other guys sneaking up behind you, coming up with these prototypes, but the magic of Tesla is they've got manufacturing capabilities that are just shocking. You can just imagine the assembly line making tens of thousands of these things a month. And if he sells them for $15,000 a copy and his cost is 10, his billions have just turned into more billions. Yeah. The United States Justice Department just has sued Louisiana, the state of Louisiana, for holding prisoners past their release date. Oh, can you imagine? You know, the prisoner knows exactly when they're supposed to get out, and these prison systems are not letting these guys out when their sentence is up, you know, for their punishment. There's that ship rocking and rolling again. Here's a drone video of the Santa Cruz wharf. The whole end of that thing just crashed, just dropped down into the sea. And you can see all these wooden guys? That's what's holding it up. And you have cars, and look at these, you know, heavy vehicles all over the place. You know, oh, mackerel. Man, you got a parking lot up there. Each one of these cars weighs 3,000 or 4,000 pounds, and you're loading that bridge that way. They've shut down the whole bridge. It's done. And that was a big enterprise. You know, a lot of stuff going on in that little thing. People eating and so forth. Yep, there's some more parking lots. Oh boy. So they don't know how much weight this thing can take. But it can't take all these cars all over the place, that's for sure. So they have to seal off the front end of that and then determine, you know, how much weight all these wooden supports that are apparently getting old, so they have to be reevaluated and replaced where necessary, which is probably, my God, that's a multi-year task just to accomplish that. That could be 3 or 4 years. And then I'll reopen in a configuration. See where that fence is right there? That just goes straight across. Yeah. And they'll forget about the rest of that, if they're lucky. And, you know, but the whole idea of having to examine those supports to determine which ones are suitable to what load factor and all that. And this is probably, you know, assembled, you know, in 1930. Yeah. It goes all the way down there. Oof. Yeah, that'll be reconfigured, as they say. Yeah. This was the bulletin that went out on Associated Press at 8 a.m. The Federal Aviation Administration has ordered all American Airlines flights grounded in the U.S. after the carrier reported a technical issue affecting its entire system, with millions of travelers, of course, in the holiday season. The airline said, "Our team is currently working on rectifying this situation. Your continued patience is appreciated." What patience? No one's got any patience. What are you talking about? Load this airplane up and take off. Oish. These guys. It's amazing. Yep. There's this lady's stand by the window. When the heck is my plane gonna be ready? Husband's running around. She's taking care of 2 kids, you know. American Airline ground its flights for a couple hours in the beginning of today. And then they have determined that the technical issue has been cured. Imagine an IT issue. Well, I don't understand what kind of an IT issue would ground the whole system, except the ticketing system. We don't know who's on what flights, and but you know, the whole system turned into egg salad. Yeah, they had to reload the system, as they say in the software business, and the system is relatively large, you know, and it's a big database, if you will, with all these ticket holders and, you know, destinations and flight numbers and matching up passengers and with their bags and, you know, that whole, geez. And so I'm sure that was a mess. So probably took him an hour and a half to restart the system. Yep. With all that passenger data in it. It's a big, yeah, it's a big network of passenger data. Database. A distributed database is what they call that. Yeah. And it's distributed out to each of their agents. You know, those agent computers. Well, that's accessing that database. And it's adding passenger data if someone's buying a new ticket. Or it's changing passenger data, even if it's just someone going from C19 to C17, seat number. You know, got to access the database and change the seat number. Yeah, and then across the entire system, you know, all those seat assignments are, you know, are visible. So, and it's a live database. Because people are selling tickets all over the place. All right. The Russian economy is set to lose another source of income that Ukraine controls. And that probably has something to do with the consumption of fuel oil. Yep. Bill Clinton got rushed off to the hospital today, early this morning, with a fever. And he was hospitalized, admitted, and he is in good spirits, the spokesman says. So, you know, I mean, the guy's 80, 81, 79, I don't know how old he is. He's in his 80s. I ended up with a blank page somehow. I guess that separates today from tomorrow. Yesterday. Yeah. So everyone's running around trying to, get their Christmas stuff done. Everybody watching the local news. They're seeing new faces on the TV screen because, the main people, they're on vacation. So now the second tier comes forward. Watch out, first tier, because there may be a secret star buried in that second tier. And I saw one this morning. Yes, sir, Bob. They stand out like a shining diamond in the sand. Yeah. So that's the interesting footnote from when the second string gets a shot at being on the camera. You say, what city is she in? Give her a ticket to Houston. We want to see her in Houston right away. Well, here's some AI. You want to talk about AI? The health metrics. That whole environment. I mean, my watch is going crazy. Yeah, it's not ticking. It can probably tick a licking. I don't want it to. But it analyzes all your heart data. It takes heart measurements every 5 minutes. I read somewhere. And one of them was this heart rate variability. And I have a chart that looks just like this one. Or similar, I should say. And I don't have a clue what it means. I mean, I understand what the measurement is. It's the difference between your beats. You got a heartbeat, and it goes thump thump, thump thump, thump thump, and then it goes thump thump. Well, that would be that one, where it thumps a little slower at one point, or a little faster at one point, which you can see right there, and a little uptick, and then a downtick, and so forth. So the changes in that, your normal range is, so you're in range or out of range. Well, what the hell does it mean? I know what it means from what I just described, but, when it's a higher or lower, which is better or worse? And, I have to keep reading the definitions of the heart rate variability. I know we want it within a certain range, but when it gets out of range, how do we get it in range? And why is it out of range? What's causing it to be out of range? You got to speak to your cardiologist about that. Because when you push this little I button, it doesn't give you enough information. When you see that little I with a circle, you touch that, and then it tells you about heart rate variability. But the problem is, it doesn't tell you enough, or doesn't tell me enough. Anyway, And then it also, your watch keeps track of your heart rate when you're sleeping. It keeps track of your breathing rate, as if your breathing is above average, below average. The shaded area looks like, your breathing pattern. And stages of sleep, whether you get into deep sleep or not. But one thing I've noticed lately, I'm sleeping longer. So I'm going to bed earlier. Now that I know I'm sleeping longer. Yeah. So there. Here's another one. Let's see what this is. Your sleep stages. I mean, this is pretty exotic stuff that, just a couple of years ago, you had to wear, put things across your chest and slip things on your fingers and all this stuff, because it didn't have a convenient way of getting all these readings at the same time. Let's see, with the advent of the Apple Watch, with its measurements that it can take off, the back of the watch, because it's attached to your wrist, and it track all this stuff at once, with a coming right through the Apple Watch or a similar device. I happen to have an Apple Watch. I've got Apple. If Apple sold underwear, I'd have Apple underwear. I got Apple every damn thing. Yeah, there's Apple. This little doodad's Apple. That doodad's Apple. I got Apple pencils. I got Apple pens. You name it. I save all the iPads, you see, because I can use them in my setup here. I don't think I have any room for any more iPads, but this one is, let's see, I can't seem to, I can usually, sorry for the banging, no downloads found. That's a little strange. Let's close that completely up, and then I'll open it fresh. There we go, Xfinity streaming. It says no, so I'm going to push this button where it says live. Yeah, you can see it up here. Live TV. Come on, baby. Give me my channels. That's where it's hanging up. Interesting. Well, a little project figuring out why that is not functioning. Let's see. SPEED. Let's do a little speed test. I'll do a little speed test on the network here. It's got enough juice to carry this broadcast, or else I would have had warning messages. Yeah, I don't have any warning messages. So, look at that. That's 235, 230. That's megabits per second download. This is the number I need. The megabits per second up. I need at least 8. It's 32 megabits per second up. So that's a little low. I should be getting 60. I'm getting 35. So Yep, let's try that again. How about that? That thing. Ooh. Close it. Let's close up all these guys. Let's try it again. All right, you are connected to the internet. That's good. And all this turned green from blue. That's a good thing. Connecting. There you are. We're connected. 55 milliseconds. That's not good. For those that are interested, download speed is 252. I mean, it's supposed to be, this million bit. We got it. And look at that. Oh, it's down to 18, 19. Ooh, it's getting in that dangerous zone. I need about 8. It's 26. So that's not good. It's okay. I mean, you either have it or you don't. This is the third reading of that, so the download speed is okay. The milliseconds for the ping at 62 milliseconds. You can see it up there right below the 3. That's long. It should be much shorter than that. Seeing my upload speed is down to 23. So we'll give them 2 stars on that one. Yep. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
It's 10:15.
Oh, my computer just said it's 10:15. Bingo. There it is. Oh yeah, you can see it up here. One of these poles is in the way. 10, 15, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. It's amazing time marches on, huh? Yeah. Got the time up in that corner for you. That is exact network time. Well, I forgot to mention, this is a simulcast. We are streaming live high definition TV, audio, video signal into 3 social networks simultaneously. And it's live. You can join live, you can send text messages, you can call, you can complain. You can just sit back and, criticize. That's okay. I can take it. Text me. Call me. 561-416-1100. I've had that number for 25 years or so. But YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitter Live are all broadcasting this simultaneously at the same instant. Every second, every millisecond. Yeah. And the handle is the @ FAU for you. FAU for you. The number 4. FAU for you. Yes. It's 5 characters. FAU for you. That's the handle. To do a search. And you do a search at YouTube with FAU for you. In the proper search screen, and you'll see all my broadcasts line them one after the other. They're supposed to be every day at 9 a.m. Right now we're saying, I would have to say, it usually broadcasts at 9 a.m. You know, sometimes, you know, when there are three of us that are running this studio, me, myself, and I. So, I'm the studio schlemiel. I'm the producer, if you will, with the hands on all the buttons to make sure this signal gets broadcast to you, so you can hear me, and so you can see me, the side of me anyway. I've turned off the front camera. Yeah, it has a little green light on there, but I put a little piece of black tape right over that little booger because I don't want to scare you all to death with a full face frontal picture. Yeah, so as I get older, I turn the lights down lower and lower and lower. This is a nice, comfortable ambient temperature here. Yeah. I open up the blinds and it's all bright. And I got a couple of doors here that close off my den here, where I have the studio set up on a 4-foot by 6-foot table, hand-built solid table. Yeah. Wow. Put it in here. I put a piece of blue tape all the way down there. This 2 feet on this side is mine, and the 2 feet on the other side is Marilyn's. She's got half and I got half. Yeah. And I got a barrier of all this equipment, between us. Just to keep us legal. Let's go on Flipboard. There we go. This is all the headline news that's being headlines from news sources that I have selected. And, so it pays attention to the topics, and it pays attention to my news sources. And once it sifts through all those, it comes out with these headlines. Yeah. Look at this. My favorite use for iPhone's action button is ordering coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. Now that's a trick. Yeah. She has chronic dry eye. Oops. Moved into... There you go. Here's Michael Maurer. On 2 decades at the helm of Porsche's design team. Now that's... look at all the little Porsches. See the little boxes behind them? So inside those little boxes are Porsches. Right behind this Credenza there, he's got Porsches. Oops. So once you get past this, these headlines, you see over in the right-hand side where it says flip, then you can flip over to all these brackets. And then it gives you all these stories. Taylor Swift loves this classic autumn Starbucks drink. Yeah. Well, good for her. Yeah. People want to know everything about what she does. So, this is from the Takeout magazine. Elon Musk, he's digging through our governmental stuff. You know, a lot of I'm sure they've had to issue security clearance for him because he's looking into things that you and I couldn't look into. So he has to be careful with the way in which he shares information among, he may have a team of 5 people that he can throw this stuff down to and say, look into it, give me suggestions on what to deal with. Because he's not a one-man band. In other words, he didn't design and deal with all this stuff by himself. He's just the guy that initials the blueprints, so to speak. Yeah. Before it goes to press, or before they turn on the factory line. Anyway, so Elon is sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, so to speak, because Trump is going to want some, and once Elon or somebody, or Vivek, comes up with something to focus on, either whether that's upstreaming or downstreaming, but Elon's the main man. You're going to have to come up with some realistic first stage changes that are going to save, billions of dollars with a boy. Billions and billions. So what happens then is that he writes a report. Of course, gotta write a report in triplicate. And then he sends it up the line, and it finally ends up in the hands of our president-elect. And he takes a peek at it. Probably, maybe a copy of it ends up in the hands of the Speaker of the House. And I heard this morning that Trump is thinking, what about Elon? We made him Speaker of the House. I don't think that would be a good idea, because he doesn't know anything about how this government thing works. And this is like herding cats. And just because he's a smart guy doesn't mean that he's a congressman out in somewhere Illinois is going to go agree with whatever the hell he has to say. So he could end up with a big surprise if he tries to take on that task. Question is, could they vote him into that position? I don't know. I doubt it. They're better off just leaving the speakership where it is. You got a two vote margin right now. So the House of Representatives is split right down the middle. We only got 2-seat majority. Woo! That is razor thin. If you got 10-seat majority, it's razor thin. It's super razor. Yeah. Yeah, oh, look at that. Got a little tingle in my finger here. That's strange. From my charger. I'm insulated with my feet, and I'm sitting on a chair, so there's no way I'm going to get juiced. So I just keep my hands off that little sucker for a while. Yeah. All right. Apple's M4 MacBook Air expected to debut sooner than the iPhone SE4. Yeah. I think I have an Apple. This guy must be M3 then. Let's zoom over here and just find out. If you don't mind, let me just take a little system setting. Oh, jeez. About page. Oops. I'm an M2 chip. 24 gigabyte M2. All right. Yeah. It's probably 1 gigabyte of storage. Yeah. Alright. That's enough, This thing works very efficiently. Look at that, I can see the upstream. I'm upstreaming it, 700 and... looks like 8.4 gigabits a second, the streaming rate. When I stop talking, it drops down. Interesting. I mean, that's the variability. It goes up and down all the time. But I can actually see the upload and download as we go on here. See, here's an article. It's still article. Here's it. I sincerely apologize. Now, they attached a little weather report on the bottom there, but there's no reason code on why they shut down all of American Airlines. It probably has to do with passengers and ticketing and all that. Well, apparently one of NASA's spacecraft that was shot at the sun just plunged into the sun and broke stunning records. Oh, what would that be? I'll tell you about that tomorrow. And what kind of records? That probably a speed record. It got up to whatever temperature and started to completely disintegrate and melt and everything. Yeah. So Elon Musk is now making noises that America will be toast and the US dollar will be worth nothing without fast action. Yeah, that's what I tell you. Everybody better buy some gold with some of that money that you got, because the dollar is in deep doo-doo. You know, with 34 trillion in debt, and an operating expense ratio of like 2 trillion negative. You gotta jumpstart America real fast. Whew. Yeah. Well, Elon Musk is getting the picture. And he's sounding an alarm bell there. And hopefully Congress will he's got to watch out on what he says, because he may just put the stock market into a tizzy. With his, he can make statements that a certain number of investment bankers, they start paying attention to it, they're going to start, getting their money into precious metals. That's a fast way of protecting money. Buy gold coins, bullion coins. Don't buy gold coins like ones that have numismatic value. You don't want to get in that mess. Try to figure out which coin is more valuable than the next. If you buy gold bullion, then it's some premium over the the street price of gold. And there's a buffalo gold coin, that you can buy for, gold is $25 or $2600 an ounce. Then you're going to pay an extra $100 per coin because it's a coin. Now, if you're going to buy millions of dollars worth of gold, maybe you're going to buy, gold bars. I don't like gold bars particularly because, then you have to have an assayer, and, the gold bar is worth, $40,000. $43,000, something like that, for a your basic full pound of yeah, jeez, it's amazing. So gold coins, they don't have to be assayed. They're $2,500, $2,600 increments, if that's what you bought it for. And a couple of years ago, gold was $1,800 an ounce. So you buy one of these coins for $1,900. Well, now it's $2,600. That's quite a jump. It's almost the same jump as some of these other stocks have gone, in the equities market. That'll teach you a lesson a little bit. If the precious metals is jumping up in as high as the same steep angle of growth as the equities market, that means it's time to buy more gold. Yeah. Yepper. I think Trump is gonna he's gonna really try to jumpstart this economy big time and change the paradigm of what's going on with this country. I hope so. Anyway, I've been yakking here for an hour and 34 minutes. I think it's time to hang it up. Yeah, jeez. I've got, I don't know when I have my cleaning lady is coming. I better figure that out. All right, listen, you guys have a Merry Christmas, and enjoy your family, and we'll be speaking at you. Let's see, likely not tomorrow. I guess December 26th. Yeah, I think so. So we'll plan on seeing you in a couple of days. Merry Christmas.